Have you ever just fallen so hard on the ground, like hit a really loud, that like you just stay down a little bit too long to where people are just like, are they okay? So you just get up really quickly, be like, hey, I'm good, and just keep walking.
It's called being old. You fall down there, you're like, you know what? If I could stay down here, it's pretty neat.
Okay. So when I fell, it wasn't just I want to stay down here. It was more like this is it. This is my new home now. Like
You're like an old person. Hello, and welcome to Missing the Wagon podcast, a pop culture review podcast. I am your host Samuel, and I am here today with my co-host Miri.
Hi everyone.
Hey, you doing all right today?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Yeah, everything's great.
Nothing makes someone believe how things are going smoothly by saying things are going great twice in the span of 5 seconds. Today, we'll be talking about Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Before we talk about that, we're going to talk about some news from December 1975. A few things happened at the end of the quarter century? Nope, 3/4 century. A few other things happened. Like on December 12th, Sarah Jane Moore pled guilty to trying to kill U.S. President Gerald Ford.
Okay, so I actually kind of looked into this a little bit. So here's my thing with this. Before she had tried to assassinate the President Ford, she had already been like stopped by the Secret Service because previously she was found by the police. And she was arrested also for illegal handgun charges. And that was the day before she tried to assassinate President Ford. And what they confiscated for her was a 44 caliber character armor bulldog revolver that had 113 rounds of ammunition. Yet somehow police was like, this is fine. Just let her go. Because they let her go. They just like held her for like a few hours and then let her go. But cops were just like, it's fine. They were like, don't watch this lady. And then, the next day she tried to assassinate.
But women can't do violent crimes.
Not not only that, but apparently also when she tried to assassinate the president, what she used was a 38 caliber revolver, which technically she did not present that until she was like 6 inches away from the president. If I didn't misunderstand that correctly.
Well, unless you're sharpshooting, I would think personally, if you're trying to hurt a person by surprise, I don't think being like, hey, guess what? Hey, it's right here. Like people could probably see that and put a stop to that.
Oh, I wasn't particularly referring to that, but my thing was that she was just really close. And she was
like an assassin.
All right. Move on. Just ignore me now. Move on.
On December 17th, Lynette Frum she was sentenced to life for an attempt on the president's life again.
All right, so she's actually my favorite one for her reasoning why she did it.
Tell me about Ezio, I guess.
So it was the same thing. No, I'm confusing her. So
the other favorite assassin. Altair did this one thing
when she was taken down. This lady, she yelled, "It wouldn't go off," and said, "It didn't go off. Can you believe it? It didn't go off." And, that's when she was tackled down. Later on in court,
she got tackled up.
It was also discovered that when they took the gun, like she just had an empty revolver. She had no chambers. But they did find the ammunition in her bathroom at home. And then
one, You said she had no chambers. You mean she had no bullets in the chamber?
Yes. The chamber was empty.
Did she shoot up her toilet? Is that what you meant?
I don't know. That's what it says on here on Wikipedia. Wikipedia's lying to me. The other thing was that Ford refused to cooperate, with her own defense during the trial. She kept claiming throughout the trial is I was not determined to kill the guy. Of course, she was convicted, for attempt to assassinate the president. But her reasoning behind it was this, which this is what kind of I found. My girl was a tree hugger, which is not bad for being a tree hugger. But she said, full of hate and violence, Frome threw an apple. She also threw an apple at the lawyer who was defending, the president, of course. She threw an apple and it broke his glasses. And then she said with, came to get life, not to get my life, but clean air, healthy water, and respect for creatures and creation of the ocean. So, sorry, I forgot to add that part in there. But yeah, during the court trial, she was so upset with the lawyer that was going against her, she threw an apple. Where'd she get an apple? Anyways.
But don't worry, because every other American went to assassinate President Ford on December 23rd when he signed the Metric Conversion Act into law. And America...
Just imagine. She went an apple a day, keeps the doctor away. Yoink!
I'm just trying to read the facts about the year. And you're out here laughing about... Man, I can't wait till we watch Wizard of Oz because you're gonna love that movie.
Oh man, I do. I actually watched part. I watched one play of it, but it was I don't even know what year from, but I watched one.
A play of Wizard of Oz?
Mhm.
We will talk about this at a separate time because I know for a fact. Oh wait, no.
A robot?
No. I was thinking about when Summer Blockbusters started. And Wizard of Oz was before that. So we'd have to go backwards in time more to watch Wizard of Oz.
Ooh, yeah, that would be exciting to see. What's up with these noises, man?
In my brain, I'm thinking of when I first saw Wizard of Oz and how I remember it, if exciting is the word I would use. But, no. But I'm happy that you're excited about it. But yeah, exciting... When I think of Wizard of Oz,
sound like a squeaky door.
Yeah, when I think of Wizard of Oz, excitement isn't the first thing. There's a scarecrow with a gun, and that's pretty funny. We gotta go stop the witch. Brings a revolver. I think we're gonna stop her this time, guys. But yes, on the 23rd of December, Gerald Ford signed the Metric Conversion Act into law. And if for any of our American listeners, you see that didn't stick because we definitely don't have kilometers per hour signs or any of that. So Americans got real mad at this man for trying to get us on the world system of measurement.
I don't have anything to that because it has to do with math. So it didn't really. Sorry, it didn't really interest me.
You also weren't alive. It didn't.
I was a speck in the universe during that time.
And then on the 31st of December, they changed stamp rates from 10 cents to 13 cents. And I brought that fact because inflation sucked even back then.
13 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Scandalous. They wouldn't like the prices now.
Ugh.
There was this one time this was like I'm a grown ass adult now, but there was this one time when I was like in high school, I had a pen pal during that time, and I thought it would be cheaper to get a book of like a little booklet of stamps, and boy, for like, I think it was like for 15 stamps, they charged me like $20, and all I wanted was just one little leaflet, and they gave me a whole book. And I paid $20 for it. And then a month later, I lost them. So I had to go back and get one slip.
I was not a cool child, but I definitely wasn't out here buying books of stamps.
I had a pen pal, and
that makes sense.
I wanted to, try to pen pal.
Yeah.
But obviously, the Postal Service said no.
No, that's not true. They said no unless you have $20. So this week we are going over Monty Python and the Holy Grail. We watched it on YouTube because it's on there, but I believe Monty Python has a few places you can stream it, which is really neat. In 932 AD, King Arthur and his squire, Patsy, traveled Britain searching for men to join the Knights of the Round Table. Patsy claps coconut shells together to make the sound of a horse's hooves, while Arthur rides before him without an actual horse. And this isn't even, it's not even the first joke in the movie. Because the first joke in the movie is the intro that has jokes about Sweden tourism.
And then can't no mooses. Mooses?
Meese. Yeah, it has mooses, yes.
Moose.
Yes.
And not the pastry.
But yeah, it has jokes about that, and then it goes into llamas, and then the movie starts. But yes,
don't they have that?
Yeah. But yeah, they like literally the first jokes in the movie are 2 or 3 translators or transcribers being fired, and then you see a man crest a hill with another man behind him as one man clacks coconuts together, and the other man like skips or gallops.
They were both skipping / galloping. To me, the question was, wouldn't that be more tiring? Like
than riding a horse?
Yeah. Well, that's not what I meant. I meant like for what's it? Patsy. They were very dedicated. Just because throughout the whole movie, that Patsy was clickety clacking, and never once did they look like they were tired. Or, I think they were the only one, from what I've noticed, they were the only ones clickety clacking throughout the whole movie.
You gotta watch this movie, buddy. But yeah, the king needs his horse, so of course Patsy's gonna clickety clack.
Okay. Along the way, Arthur debates whether swallows could carry coconuts, as it's not clear how Patsy came to have coconut shells on him. Arthur is revealed to be somewhat an expert on swallows and claims that the coconuts being used by Patsy were carried to England by an African swallow.
And that is that is not that scene. The scene starts with a pedantic knight being asked to be like, hey, we need knights for the round table, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy's like, hey, how'd you get coconuts? We're in England. Like, there's no way you get coconuts here. And then Arthur is like, oh, we got them from some swallows. And he's like, what? An English swallow can't carry that much weight. And then they're like, oh, you can tie them together. They went on, there's like, I think it's a 5-minute runner talking about bird facts. And I was like, I'm guessing Brilliantly Mulligan went back in time to poke fun at his script a little bit. Like, you know what? People will never know that I went back in time. I'll just put bird facts in this thing.
So my thing was, during that scene, literally all Arthur was wanting to get people on his team, and the guy who was in charge of the gate, he didn't even budge, and not in the aspect that he just didn't want to let them in. He was just so flabbergasted by the fact that these coconuts came from a bird, like carried by a bird, and he would just rebuttal like, I don't think that's true. And every time Arthur tried to be like, hey, I need people, he was like, oh, but that's not right. He would just come back to the bird facts and like the bird, how just be like, that's not possible. It's not possible. So yeah, Arthur was like, you know what, forget it.
Many Britons don't know they have a king and believe they are living in a self-governed commune, which sounds very much like a parliamentary democracy. They have elected an officer to make decisions, but the decisions are ratified by the people in a bi-weekly meeting of the people by a simple majority for all internal affairs and 2/3 majority in cases of war and conflict. The ordinary people are against the self-perpetuating autocracy. Arthur recounts receiving Excalibur from the Lady of the Lake. People say that executive power cannot come from strange aquatic ceremonies and only from a democratic system of voting, which is not true. One man says that. One man tells Arthur, you're not our king. We don't know who you were. We don't know who you are. Who chose you? Arthur's like, I got this sword from God, from the Lady of the Lake.
Which that's a very bold statement to say. God made me.
Yeah, man. God made me king, and you guys need to listen to me. And they definitely didn't listen to him.
The crazy part is I think was that the scene where like Arthur then stops like starts like trying to roughhouse with him, and he's like,
"Oh yeah," he
"Did you
grabs
see
him. The
this?"
guy's like, "Guys, look at this. This is this is people using their power to abuse people."
He's
yeah.
trying to silence me, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Look at them taking my words.
But yeah, that's what happened.
Arthur then defeats the Black Knight, where he wouldn't let cross the bridge. Arthur cuts off the knight's arms, and even then he continues to fight Arthur with his legs. Arthur cuts off the knight's legs as well, and the knight agrees to call the fight a draw. Arthur then observes an impromptu witch trial, deciding whether a woman is a witch or not by weighing her against a duck. The man wanted to burn the woman, even though they had no good reason to believe that she was a witch. The argument is that witches burn, hence made of wood. Wood floats in water, and so does duck.
So does duck.
So does ducks. So if the woman weighs the same as a duck, she is made of wood, and hence she is a witch. Put a pin on that one. There's something.
Yeah, how could we come back to the thing about the podcast we're doing? It'd be wild.
That last part. When Arthur is defeating the knight, it to me is obviously this is a comedy movie. Like it's nothing serious about it. My thing is though, this knight, even though he got both his arms and both his legs, my man has the still has the like I guess he has the courage, the boldness to be like, so let's withdraw for now. And then when Arthur starts walking away, like trying to cross the bridge, this man is like, come back and fight me like a man. Even though he has no body parts left, like arms or legs.
I really enjoyed the Black Knight opening scene because typically what happens in movies like these, or just movies in general that are like medieval, like there is I think there's a King Arthur movie with Sean Connery and Richard Gere, if I'm not misremembering, and I think Richard Gere was Lancelot. So Lancelot in Arthurian legend cheats with Guinevere, who is Arthur's wife. And that's the reason why Lancelot doesn't go on the quest for the Grail in Arthurian legend, because you need someone pure to bring the Grail back, which I think, does Percival go?
That I don't know that much.
I haven't read Arthurian legend in a long time.
All I know is that the one thing that stuck out to me during English literature class in high school was that Arthur, to not make his people suspicious, because he was aware that Guinevere and Lancelot had a thing going on, for his kingdom not to suspect them, he made Lancelot Guinevere's personal guard. That way, for them to always be together without causing suspicion to his people.
So he's a real cook of a king. That's pretty cool.
That's his problem.
But my point was, usually in these movies, when someone's a good fighter, is like really good fighting stuff, but then when other people come in, like usually the way they end the fight is someone charges in too fast and they get hit, and in Monty Python, for some reason, they just have like good close range combat, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty neat, because when you first see the Black Knight, you see him fighting another person trying to cross.
And he whooped his butt.
Yeah, and like I was like, oh okay, so we're gonna see some good stuff, but then you know
this ridiculousness of the scene.
This goes into comedy.
The thing was, obviously this was my first time watching Monty Python, but when I first saw the Black Knight, I thought he was gonna be recruited, but it just turns out he got his limbs chopped off, and that was the last we saw him. Did he die? We don't know, because even as he got his limbs chopped off, he still seemed pretty healthy.
He didn't seem healthy.
He seemed healthy. He seemed
alive. He did not seem healthy.
He seemed healthy and alive, because there was no I'm queasy. I see white, or black in this case.
Well,
but
no, you're not wrong. My man wasn't out here.
He didn't even flip over. He literally just stood there like in the perfect square sign, and he just wobbled, and again he just kept threatening, like, come back here and fight me like a man. My dude, you are even, I think are you considered a half a man right now?
Well, once again, I would not consider healthy a man with whose blood is spilled all over the ground with no limbs.
Hey, all I know is he wasn't yelling. I didn't hear him like calling for help or anything. I just felt the anger and the he needs to come back and fight me. He even stated, I'll use my teeth. So my dude was kicking. Well,
hey, buddy. Wearing a helmet and saying you're gonna bite somebody is like saying, "Look, I got dirty hands," and then you have on 2 sets of gloves trying to touch them. Like, yeah,
they're still dirty.
The gloves inside are, not the outside.
That's what I'm saying. He wanted to use it. I mean, at this point, if he lost a tooth or so, at this point, he wouldn't care. He'd still be fighting.
No,
He'd still be yelling.
Okay,
to Arthur, come back and fight me.
No. How would he remove his helmet with no arms?
Tell that to him. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He had.
When we built the time machine, I'll go back in time and be like, "Hey, character in this movie."
I'm just saying things like he said in the movie. It's not like I'm just pulling this out my butt. Like, I'm literally being honest. That's exactly what the guy said.
And then the next part with the witch and the duck and that part irritated my soul so bad. Because, once again,
Duck float. Witch.
No, because the synopsis skips over this part, because
they're so...
for the shows we've done so far, we've noticed already that the synopsis skips over big chunks of things. I was one of the synopsis that tells everything. We've already missed the part where people are bringing their dead out, and a man was to get rid of his dad, and he kills it, and the man and the guy like bonk the dad over the head.
Does he kill him? I thought he just knocked him out.
I have no idea, because I'm going to be honest. If he bonked him in the head, knocked him unconscious, and then left him in a pit of dead bodies, that man's not living.
What were they yelling when they were like? What was the bell? What were they saying when he?
Bring out your dead.
Bring out your dead.
So, but yes,
and people were bringing them out like it was a lunch break.
Yeah, like it was medieval times, and they just put people's dead bodies in mass graves. But
that's how the Black Plague was made.
So, but like, if
along with rats.
Just honestly, if that guy got knocked unconscious and he's on top of the pile, when they dump the pile in, that means he's going to be on the bottom and he's going to be underneath a bunch of bodies. So, if he's just unconscious, he's going to die.
Only the strong survive.
Why are you talking? Just talking Darwin quotes. But yeah, the lady about the witch thing, because they came up and it was the dumbest reasoning in the dumbest way possible. Yeah. And then Arthur hears this dumb reasoning and is like, you know what?
I am a smart man. I can tell them.
Yeah, this guy needs to be part of my team. Now, what I do love about this dumb town is that they had a giant scale made in the front of the town for the express purpose of weighing a human against a duck.
And the lady was just okay with it.
Well, because one, she's sane and she knows that she won't weigh the same as a duck. But then the scale can't be correct because she weighed the same as a duck.
Dude, somebody was lifting up, like somebody was holding down that scale on the duck side, man. Like somebody really, well, I guess witch trials were a really big thing during that time too.
In medieval time?
Weren't they?
Hey man, I haven't studied medieval history in a long time. He recruits Sir Bedivere the wise, Sir Lancelot the brave, Sir Galahad the pure, and Sir Robin the not quite so brave as Sir Lancelot, along with their squires and Robin's minstrels.
You guys can't see this, but as he was naming all these people, like, and their attributes or their whatever it's called, I'm just shaking my hand no. Like, no. They're not any of that. Well, Lancelot was brave. I'll give him that. Okay. He was brave to, try to get some.
Yeah. No, that I can't argue with you about. I was going to say, the Lancelot we see in this movie is...
ridiculous.
Well, no. I was going to say, he's not brave. He's brash. And very willing to murder. Very willing to hurt people for funsies.
Oh, yeah.
Arthur leads the Knights of Camelot, but after a musical number changes his mind, deeming it a silly place. As they turn away, God appears and orders Arthur to find the Holy Grail. Now, you all might not know this, and that's fine. I watched Robot Chicken as a teenager at one point, and there was an episode...
Pretty intense stuff sometimes.
Very true. But there was one of the things they did, which was Sir Mix-a-Lot doing a Knights at the Round Table song, and I had no idea where Seth MacFarlane and them got an idea to do that. Then I saw this movie, and I was like, oh, okay. That's where they got the idea. Because literally some of the interstitial stuff they do, or some of the cuts and everything they do, literally are the exact same from this movie. Where like it cuts from them singing and tables rolling around and people dancing on the walls.
Purposely dropping food.
Yeah, literally. So
probably scarce during that time.
So when I saw it in the movie, I was like, oh, I thought that was original because I was a kid and I hadn't seen X, Y, and Z. But no, it's just from an old movie that they really enjoyed. So then they put it and they brought in Sir Mix-a-Lot. I guess kind of funny.
So for me, in this part that he read when Arthur is recruiting, and he says how do you say his name? Benavir. Bedivere. Here, in the way how the movie described it was, he was just there. Like he would try to do his best, but it wouldn't really work. So then, like the others were the ones that basically had to fix the situation going on. So I don't know if you know this, but there's this trend. There was this trend on TikTok. I'm not sure if it's still going on now.
I do not know any trends on TikTok.
But there's this one part where like people put like it's mostly with couples where it's like it's you and me and your friend Steve. Do Steve. That's what I picture when I see him, cause he's just there. Like, well, he's there for the ride. Just.
Wait, what? You picture Garfunkel and Oaks?
Is that who sings the song?
Yeah, they're two female comedians. This isn't important for the story, for the story of the movie, but yes, they're two female comedians. I forget their names.
All I know
they
is
are very funny.
That's how it is, because he's just, hi, trying to help.
Well, he is the wise.
Also, the part that really also kind of like tickled me a little bit was when the God just all of a sudden appears from the clouds. It's not even a real person. It's like this little... I don't know how would you describe
like a paper cutout.
Yeah, they just move the mouth.
If you haven't watched the movie, if you've ever watched South Park ever in your life, the way they animate the Canadians in South Park is the way that God is animated in the Monty Python movie.
This God in the movie was, he had a personality, because every time. Well, I guess he's laughing at me, but they're supposed to. But what I mean is that when they saw him, they tried to bow, and he went from graceful. He's like, "Don't bow. I hate when people do that. Don't bow." And then what else did they call him? Like magnificence, your holiness, or something like that.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Don't call me that." Like he's like, he would try to, take them back to the original goal, which was like find the Holy Grail. But God in the movie was like, I don't like that. Don't call me that. I hate it when people do that. So they were just like, oh, okay, well, they kind of look like robots a little bit because they didn't know how to really proceed, because they were just also so, oh man, God is talking to me. Arthur and his knights arrive at the castle occupied by French soldiers who claim to have the Grail and taunt the Britons. Driving them back with the barrage of barnyard animals, Benavir concocts a plan to sneak into using a Trojan rabbit, but forgets to tell the others to hide inside. Steve. The Britons are forced to flee when it's flung back at them. Arthur decides that the knights should go their separate ways to search for the Grail.
Now, this scene...
Somebody died underneath that cow. Or the Trojan rabbit.
Technically, we saw that person get back up again. But yes, the French people with their... I don't think I wrote down any of their insults word for word, because their insults were crazy. But for them to be like, we gotta get the Holy Grail, and then for them to walk and to find this place, and then for a man to just taunt them, turn to his friends and laugh like, look at these idiots over here. And then for them just... I think the first thing they throw was either pee or poop at them. I think it was pee.
It was poop.
Oh, it was poop?
It was poop.
Because
I remember I was like, I would have just left after that. Like, once I saw them... Because the thing was, it's not like they didn't tell them. They told them they were going to fling animal stuff. Like, they used a particular... Like, was it animal feces? Or, like, they said, like, turd or something like that.
Yeah.
But they still stood there. You know, when people would tell me, hey, I'm going to throw crap at you, hey, I'm going home. Like, I don't want to be stinky.
Oh, one of the insults was, your mother was a hamster and your father smells of elderberries.
Hamsters are cute.
Yeah, but if that means his dad had sex with a hamster.
Elderberries?
Yes. Why'd you just say? Yes. They are fine smelling berries. That's about it. But yes, most of the insults are about as nonsensical as that.
Elderberries and a hamster?
Yeah.
Hamsters can eat elderberries.
Once again, if his mother is a hamster and his father is a human man,
but also smells like elderberries,
that's still a man having sex with a hamster.
I
feel like you're getting cut up on the berries. Is this like
a Yo Mama joke? Like back like medieval Yo Mama joke?
Okay. A modern-day historian filming a documentary on the Arthurian legends is killed by an unidentified knight on horseback, triggering a police investigation. And now, this is an understatement.
I want to say it. Oh, well, no, actually, you go first because I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay, so this man does get murdered by a person. Yeah, by a person riding a horse.
An actual horse.
But the problem is, none of our guys that we're following have an actual horse.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do with budget.
No. I understand that bit, but once again, we know the ending of the movie, and these guys haven't been near a horse this entire time. The closest they've been to a horse is a cow flung at them from a French castle. So also, and we never figure out who does the murder. Like this, for a spoiler, we never figure out why this documentarian got attacked. We don't figure out who did it. All we know is the one actual horse in the movie is used to commit a hit and run on an old man, and that's it.
Yeah. His wife comes out and she's just like, and it just cuts to the next scene. And that would be on the night's travel, Arthur and Bedivere are given directions by an old man in an attempt to satisfy the strange request of dreaded knights who say, "Me." Sir Robin avoids a fight with the three-headed knight by running away while the heads are arguing.
Three-headed knight, and also...
Oh, three-headed. Sorry.
They are not... This is all fours, so being three-headed would not surprise me for 5 seconds. One... Once again...
Me.
With... the ending of the podcast, we're gonna tell you, but I would say you should watch this movie, but if you do watch this movie, there are lots of long scenes of these men doing jokes that they find funny, and that is it. They find them hilarious, and they do them for 5 to 10 minutes because it is their movie, and they have every right to. Because, the Knights That Say Me, I'm not going to say I dislike this scene, but I'm going to say I feel the scene goes too long. And then you jump to Sir Robin, and I think that scene's hilarious. Because all that happens is Sir Robin's minstrels keep saying how Robin is so brave that he'll survive any manner of harm to himself to get the Grail. And Robin's like, "That's not true. Stop that.
Stop telling me of ways I can die."
And then he runs into the three-headed knight, and
they turn around.
Yeah, he escapes.
Mind you, his what are they called? The groupies, the people that was with
the musicians.
The musicians tried to sing about his great defeat, and he's like, "No, shut up."
Turned around. Yeah, they're minstrels, but yeah, like they go around and but yeah, they go around making fun of him. And I'm like, see, that's a good job. But like, there's a scene where the knights, I think they wanted either fencing or shrubbery. I think, it was shrubbery. So then Sir Robin comes back along after escaping the giant, and they change their want because they get the shrubbery they want, but then they want something else. And I forget how we solve the Knights Who Say Me problem, because they changed their names halfway through asking for another task.
And then they started saying there was one word that they didn't like. Don't say that word. What was it?
Was it that or this?
That, probably that or this.
Yeah,
but they were like, "Oh, you said it, don't say it."
Yeah, I think it was that. And I was like, these men, this is a script probably. If this movie isn't full improv, they wrote that down They wrote that down and put it in the movie, and I'm like, oh, comedy troops are just fun in general. I'll say it like that. Sir Galahad is led by a grail-shaped beacon to Castle Anthrax, which is full of young women led by Zoot and Dingo, identical twin sisters, and Dr. Piglet and Dr. Winston, who examine Galahad. Now, this is abrupt because we haven't seen many other women in the movie at this point. At this point,
that's the only women you see
no,
throughout.
no, no,
The
no.
wife.
Did
you mean like young ladies? Because
no,
the wife of the guy, the historian who got murdered.
No. The first woman we see, they are picking stuff in the field, and Arthur is being told that, hey, you're not king of Britain. That's the first woman.
Yeah,
it was a man and a woman. It was a man and woman there. That's the first woman you see. So after seeing, you see one woman in the field. You see, another lady after her husband gets attacked. I think there is a woman I'm missing, but I can't remember off the top of my head now at this exact moment. Oh, it's the witch lady. It is the witch lady. I'm forgetting her somehow because somehow she weighs same as a duck. And after that, it's like 20, 30 women in this castle. Like all the all the females had one day of shooting, and it was in this castle, and that's about it. And I'm just like, oh, okay, man.
The way how they talked reminded me of something. They were like, oh, biscuits.
Oh, biscuits.
They had a particular way how they spoke.
Oh,
maybe like little old grandma. I don't know.
Do you think these women sounded like grandmas?
They sounded like something, but it wasn't like.
What is that pause?
I'm trying to. I know their tone. I'm just trying to think about the things that they said.
Okay.
Especially the one that was leading.
Zoot and Dingo. Those are the two identical sisters who are the leaders of this all-woman, not commune, castle situation.
Sir Galahad. I was trying to say Sir Galahad.
For me, it reminded me of Stepford Wives because they all sounded very robotic and they all said the same things and they all acted the same way. That's what it reminded me of. But you probably haven't seen the Stepford Wives movie. Galahad is unwillingly rescued by Lancelot after Dingo tells Galahad to spank Zoot as a punishment for lighting up the Grail-shaped symbol. And pause. One, it's medieval time. So how do they have a Grail-shaped symbol? I know this is a comedy movie. This makes sense to me. Two, Dingo does tell Zoot, or Galahad to spank Zoot. But the problem isn't Lancelot saved him from spanking this one woman. This lady's like, oh, hey, you should spank her. And then every woman was like, yeah, let's all get spanked. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? I'm not to be mean. You guys can't spank each other or something? Like, that's kind of wild.
It's not the same.
I can't argue with you on this because I don't think if I pulled a belt out right now and spanked myself, I'd be like, man, this reminds me of being spanked as a kid. So you know what? Can't argue with it. I think it would be different. But I don't know if I want this dirty stranger to do it because they don't know Sir Galahad. They don't know his name. He's just a dirty stranger, and they're like, hey, dirty stranger, you want to do this? And if I'm Sir Galahad, I'm just being honest, I don't know any of these women, and they tricked me and trapped me. I would want to get away so fast.
He did not. He wanted to stay.
Nah, he's pure. He's Sir Galahad the Pure.
No, he wasn't trying to be pure there.
Did you not hear the suffix of his name? It's the Pure. So he's like, let's get out of there. Then Lancelot came and saved him.
And like when Galahad was like, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. You can go. And Lancelot pulled him out like so quick. I feel like this might make sense to the next thing. I feel like the reason why Lancelot pulled him out. Let's put a pin on that. I'll say my comment after the next paragraph. Lancelot receives an arrow-shot note from Swamp Castle, believing the note is from a lady being forced to marry against her will. He storms the castle and slaughters several members of the wedding party, only to discover the note was from an infant Prince Herbert, who was being forced by his father to marry a fat, ugly princess. That's the way how this is described. It just makes it sound like Homegirl had to put a bag over her head, basically. But I don't think she was bad looking. Like, I thought she was a little on the cute side, but I could maybe those are my standards.
This technically was my favorite part of the movie. I loved the comedy bit of reusing the film over and over again because he's at the tree line and he sees the castle, and they just replay the same clip of him running out of the thing about 4 or 5 times, and then it's like he teleports from the tree line to the castle and starts attacking everybody. Now
I'm gonna stop you right there for a minute. I've been on this man for 7 years. Never in my life have I ever seen him wheeze or gasp for air at anything until this scene appeared in front of him. When I tell you, he was gasping, he was heaving, he did the silent laughter wheezing, and not only that, he was playing the scene over and over for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm just staring at him like, can we just move on from the scene?
I did not replay it 3 or 4 minutes.
You
I did.
did.
I replayed it once again because it's a very long scene anyway.
You replayed it more than once because I remember being like, okay, it's not that funny.
It's pretty funny, man. Literally, it's one of the easiest things to do because it's just reusing the film. But it just shows. It's like when you play a video game and someone's hitting lag switch, so you don't notice when they're about to turn and shoot you, or when they're about to turn and try to get a kill, and they just teleport in front of you. And then, also, the synopsis is wrong, because almost everybody who gets slashed by Lancelot is not dead. They come
He does kill, hold on, actually, there's something I wanted to add. When Sir Lancelot gets an arrow shot note, they didn't say this, but what was the guy that was with him? What was he? His guard? His assistant?
They're knights, so he's a squire.
So his squire was the one that got shot. And Lancelot, I don't know if Lancelot had a grudge against him or something, but Lancelot was killing him off. Like, oh, your death will not go in vain. And then the guy would be like, oh, sir, I'm actually okay. No, you're not. You're in so much pain. He's like, actually, I'm actually okay. And, Lancelot was like, oh, you stay here. I won't let your death go in vain. And he's like, well, I'm fine.
Yeah,
but okay, I'll stay here.
The man was injured, and Lancelot thought he was injured. And like a racehorse, he was going to put down his friend.
Lancelot did not think Lancelot had multiple cues that his squire was fine. By the squire saying, I'm fine. But no, Lancelot just wanted to go on this little thrill of saving a damsel in distress.
Oh, also, the prince that shot the arrow kept trying to sing, and his musical. His dad kept saying no singing, and I'm like, I need more of that, and because I know Tangled did this bit too, because once
with
again,
Flynn Rider, why is everyone singing?
Yeah.
That would have been my same question, man. He asked some real questions, like, why is everybody singing?
But yes, this scene made me...
He never sang, did he?
No, I think that when Lancelot came, he was about to sing again, but his dad stopped him again.
Here's a fun fact about that. So Flynn Rider was actually chosen by multiple women that worked for... Is it Disney or Pixar? Disney?
Well, Disney and Pixar worked together.
Whatever. Whoever that movie... Well, it was chosen... It was by women who selected Flynn Rider. And then the people who were editing for the movie, who were in charge of making it, happen, they were men, and they stated that it was very hard for them to be part of that because there were things that they liked about what a man would look like versus things that they didn't like, and they were like, well, some of them kind of hit it on the nose? Is that the term? He's like, so we're kind of like, oh, this is work though.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes. You can't have a focus group and be like, I don't like what you're telling me. It'd be wild. But no,
it was the hardest thing we've ever done, is what they said.
But yeah, it's just that kind of stuff. So, no musicals. Lancelot comes through, throwing knights off of banisters. And because for me, I was like, you guys have a really low budget thing. Like, how much padding do you have on the floor to throw this man off of a banister or whatever? But then Lancelot gets to there and sees that it's a man and not a woman. And he's like, well, I'm sorry about that. And then leaves.
Not even that. The prince?
Yeah, his dad.
No, his prince, as his dad was like, oh, who are you? Like, you're about to be like, oh, you're killing all my ghosts. Yeah. But, before he got there, he's like, oh, I am Sir Lancelot. And I guess the dad is so astonished by, I guess, a manly man that he looks like. That while he's trying, like, he's like being like, oh, this will be a good son, blah blah. He lets his son fall out the window. Mind you, he's calling Sir Lancelot like, oh, come on, Sir Lancelot, let's leave, help me escape. And Sir Lancelot just was not even paying attention to him, and the dad is like literally facing Lancelot to where he can see his son behind him, and he just lets him fall off the window.
Well, yeah, because the king thinks that his son is dead, and he's like, "Hey, Lancelot, you can be my son."
No, the fact he was flabbergasted. Ooh, ooh. Wait, is that the yeah? And the fact that he was flabbergasted when a knight came in to was literally princess carrying his son inside the castle. He's like, oh no, I fell in the haystack. I'm okay. And then his dad was like, what? Like, his dad was shook that his son was still alive. At that point, was he planning to make Lancelot his new son?
Yeah. When his son fell out the window, he was like, hey, you can be my new son. You'll be a prince, all this stuff. Yeah.
Lancelot the Brave, guys.
And Lancelot didn't want to marry the woman that was their proposed marriage that the prince was about to do.
Arthur and his knights regroup and are joined by 3 new knights, as well as Brother Maynard and his monk brethren. A year passes, and during his harsh winter, the knights are forced to eat Robin's minstrels, which I'm glad Robin was glad to get rid of. They met Tim the Enchanter, who directs them to a cave where the location of the Grail is said to be written.
Also, the Enchanter is just a man who used up most of the budget for explosions. That's it. For teleporting. I think he was supposed.
What was the name of the mage that was like Sir Arthur's like right hand mage?
Oh, in Arthurian legend.
Yeah,
Merlin.
I think that's what he was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But everything was just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Literally. The entrance to the cave is guarded by a rabbit of Caerbonog. Underestimating it, the knights attack, but the rabbit easily kills Sir Bors, Gawain, and Ector. Gawain. Arthur uses the Holy Hand grenade of Antioch, provided by Brother Maynard, to destroy the creature. Inside the cave, they find an inscription from Joseph or Arimathea, directing them to Castle R, and warning them of the legendary Black Beast, a cave monster whose location of origin is obscured by a screaming sound. Rawr.
This scene is a scene that people love to use with a normal-looking bunny, and it attacks, and it kills knights, and it's wild. I love this scene as well, but this scene, I don't understand why these men are like, you know what, it's just a bunny, because the bunny is sitting on like 30 or 40 skeletons. And I was like,
was it a white rabbit too?
Yeah, it was a white rabbit. And I'm just like, this is just me. If I see a rabbit near a cave where a beast is supposed to live and it's alive, and then the rabbit's sitting on top of skeletons that are like bones picked cleaned, I'm like, hey, we gotta do something about this rabbit before we get close, because the rabbit's gonna hurt us.
So here's something that it didn't mention. Well, I don't know if it should have or not, but when they were using, the Holy Grenade of Antioch, they had to do like this prayer, like read, I guess, from in scripture.
Yeah.
And at one point, like whoever was the one who was reading it told the squire who had to read the book. He was like, oh, chapter so and so, stanza this and that, and they were reading it. You just hear him go, you can skip to stanza this. Like, I don't know what it was about that. He was like, just skip it. And have them go to, like, the actual part where they can actually do it. Which, I think that was a wasted grenade, wasn't it? Or did it actually kill the rabbit?
Huh. It's been a minute since we watched it. I think it did. I think it killed the rabbit. And,
it'd be crazy if it was just a normal rabbit. Just so happened to hop on those skeletons.
No, but my brain's trying to rationalize it, which is not helpful for this comedy movie. Things that are rational are not the way that the movie moves. I was gonna say, why would the rabbit be like, you know what I really want? Bones. I want to sit on
Okay,
bones.
it was hopping through. Like,
Well, it was definitely wasn't. It was definitely sitting still, like it owned the bones.
well, rabbits just stand still sometimes on certain things and just wiggle their little cute nosies.
And this is gonna be okay. That's very nice. If you, a human, were walking and you're like, my feet hurt in these shoes, and you sat down in a pile of skeletons, people would assume you killed the skeletons.
Honestly, at that point, I just grab a skeleton and be like, you want some?
Honestly, at that point, I just put my hands all over them.
Clearly, yeah, that's true. But what if I fall on it?
That's different. That's inherently different.
But what if
but
you're described like, what if you just sit down on a pile of bones? I'm like, well, my DNA still on it because I stepped on it.
Yeah.
And then like if I accidentally touched it,
I hate to be pedantic, but you think your DNA is on the bottom of your shoes?
But it'll have my shoe print and be like, oh, this person, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's true. But you said your DNA would be on the bottom. So I'm saying
if I accidentally touch it.
Yes.
Or I guess my fingerprints. I don't know. I don't know how the forensic side of this. All I know is that if they leave a shoe print, they'll be like, this person had a shoe.
All I know is if I see a herbivore sitting on top of a bunch of meat, yeah, I'm gonna scoot on out of there. I would have grabbed the grenade first before the knights died.
That's what happens when you underestimate cute little things.
An animated cave monster devours brother Maynard, but Arthur and the knights escape after the animated unexpectedly suffers a fatal heart attack. The knights approach the Bridge of Death, where the bridge keeper challenges them to answer 3 questions to pass, or else be cast into the gorge of eternal peril. Lancelot easily answers the simple questions and crosses. Robin is defeated by an unexpected difficult question, and Galahad fails an easy one. Both are magically flung into the gorge. When the bridge keeper poses an obscure question about swallows to Arthur, he asks the bridge keeper to clarify what he means. The bridge keeper cannot answer and is thrown into the gorge. Now, this scene is also quite fun, but I don't understand why the bridge keeper would want certain people to cross and certain others to not.
The ones who are destined.
For me, it's like this. I don't want anyone to cross the bridge. It's my bridge. So I wouldn't. Troll? Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't want anyone to cross the bridge.
Well, he's a troll, right?
What?
He's a troll?
Who is?
The bridge keeper?
It just says bridge keeper. It didn't say bridge keeper troll. It just says bridge keeper, so I can tell you.
It's hard for my brain.
But yeah, but for me, so once again, it's a good comedy bit, and then rule of threes, and they follow that. But the problem becomes, I'm like, make sure none of these goofballs go over my bridge. But then I do love the turnabout as fair play as the bridge keeper's thrown into the gorge. And we never see anyone that's thrown in the gorge. We don't see them ever again. They're gone.
So, my thing is, though, because you'll hear this in the next scene, but who passed? Lancelot was one of the ones that passed in Benevere?
Yes.
And then Arthur was the one who passed through the bridge. I don't know what happened in the next scene. Like, I'm not sure if this mist was like ones that transport you to a different location, but you see Arthur and Benevere together. Lancelot is he just pulled a Houdini and just disappeared. So.
Also, they didn't know the name of the castle they went to.
Oh, man.
The castle that they were told to go to is the castle they've already been to.
Oh, man.
So I love the idea that they've been wandering for a year and they need to go in a circle.
Just like Poseidon and Odysseus, man. Just the same, just going around in circles, man. You can't get to Ithaca and just throwing him all over a circle.
Well, I was going to say, Poseidon definitely didn't go in a circle.
Sorry.
Odysseus did.
Yeah, Poseidon gave Odysseus a very circular adventure.
An odyssey, even.
Arthur and Benevere cannot find Lancelot, unaware that he has been arrested by police, investigating the historian's death. The pair reach Castle Arg, but find it occupied by French soldiers. After being repelled by showers of manure, there you go, that's the word they used, They summon an army of knights and prepare the assault to the castle. As the army charges, the police arrive, arrest Arthur and Benevere, and break the camera, abruptly ending the film. Okay, so here's something I wanted to point out earlier. When the historian got murdered by some random knight, a cop car showed up. It like transitions back like to where like the police is investigating, and their cars are there. The cop car is there.
Yeah, constable even.
Yeah, how? And so in this ending scene, they pull up like multiple police cars, and one of those little where they put, I guess, SWAT people in. I don't know.
It's called a paddy wagon.
There you go.
You put a bunch of suspects in at once.
Yeah, and these cars just come out, and I've mentioned this to Samuel, where were they just acting, were they just like doing like what is it? One of those where like historic events acting.
Reenactment.
Yeah, reenactment, and it just so happened somebody went AWire and murdered a historian.
Well, but it doesn't explain.
It's my time.
Well, it doesn't explain the man with the teleportation and the explosions. It doesn't explain why there are men throwing cows and whatnot at people with trebuchet. It doesn't explain God talking to them saying, go find the Grail.
What is it?
It explains the Grail signal because, it's modern day. But it doesn't explain most of the stuff happening.
Yeah, so this ended...
Oh, also, Arthur actively cut off a man's arms and legs for real.
Apparently it wasn't because he was still alive and kicking. Well,
yeah.
But those were the only questions I had throughout the movie, really, just that one. The way how it ended, I'm going to be real, I did not expect the cops to come in and, be like, you're under arrest. My question was, how did the cops... The castle was... It didn't look anywhere near society. It's just driving around the woods? Is that what they're doing?
Well, I'm going to assume you haven't been to Europe. There are lots of castles around because people... It was like the main form of housing. So
just random castles, man.
Yeah, there are castles around. There are lots of random castles around.
I guess my question was coming, is there actual roads? Or... Because the one that we saw were just, dirt roads. Right?
Yeah.
So... whatever. Anyways, I'm going in circles. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting that ending.
Also, you were like, oh, hey, how'd they find the castle? I'm like, well, we haven't seen many castles. The only other castle they could have found is the one full of women's at Camelot, but Camelot's up on a hill.
I bet they had fun.
Yeah.
So do the other people get arrested in this, or is it just Arthur and...
The French guys?
Yeah, do the French guy... I mean, I'm just saying, were they investigated too, or just...
Well, we didn't see that. All we saw was Arthur and them get...
This leaves so many rooms for question, and it really bothers my brain.
That's the point. But yeah. So, Arthur and them can't get any horses, but they can get a bunch of men in armor and swords. And they're about to attack the castle. Yeah, they can attack the castle, and then one cop car shows up in one paddy wagon. Yeah. And I'm still surprised. I'm like, wait a minute. So there's 100 people. And there's one cop car and one paddy wagon. And everyone's like, we can't do anything now. So there's just 100 of us.
This is what I meant when, Sir Lancelot went head first. And he just poofed. Again, pulled a Houdini. But then you see him getting arrested. Which makes me wonder, where... Do you have no sense of directions, my dude? Mm-hmm. Did you make a left instead of a right?
Maybe he went back to go be Prince at the other place without having to deal with not having a home for a year.
Because the scene that you see is the policeman slamming him against not slamming him but pushing him against the cop car and trying to take him put him in it. But that's the question that to me arrived was how did you get there? What were you doing, my dude? What happened?
Now, if you can believe it, this movie didn't have the biggest budget. But I want to say for 1975 was still pretty sizable. Budget for this movie was $380,000, which is why they didn't have money for horses and stuff. But I'm just like, that's
how much?
$380,000.
$380,000. That's worth Maybe some college debt.
It's a pretty good sizable chunk, but it wasn't enough for what they wanted to do. But overall, they made $3.1 million off this movie.
That's not bad.
Yeah, like it's like once again,
for what they had, it's not
Monty
bad.
Python is a beloved comedy troupe, and they have many hits like this, and it makes me laugh. Because in 1975, the intro of this movie probably would have made some people be like, you know what, no, not for me. Some fun facts about this movie. Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and Genesis all contributed to the movie's budget because they were all big fans of Monty Python, which is always fun.
Wait, was this a remake of Monty Python?
No, it is not a remake.
Oh.
This is, I think this is, I looked this up and I currently forget, but I think this is Monty Python's second or third movie they've made.
Oh, I thought it was the first one.
Because I believe Monty Python had their own TV show, and then they made movies from sketches and ideas and stuff from the TV show. So I think the first movie was Life of Brian, I believe.
Life of Pi.
In the Killer Rabbit scene, they used a real white rabbit, and they dyed the fur red. And they thought they would be able to clean it before the owner came back. Yeah.
Was it animal friendly dye?
That I couldn't tell you.
Oh no. I hope it was.
All I could tell you is that
look, I'm a big animal lover.
all I can say about it is after the battle scene with the rabbit, they told the owner of the rabbit that, oh hey, we got this red washable paint, and then they went to clean the rabbit, and the red paint didn't come off. So the owner was a bit miffed, to say the least, because they're out here like, hey, don't worry, it'll come right out, and it did not come right out.
So I think for me, as an owner, I don't think I would mind my pet being dyed colors. I think I would only, to me, it's because, like, obviously, if it's pet friendly, you know, it's gonna come off, and my dog or cat would be fine. But if it's, like, something that could damage them, then yeah, I'd be pretty pissed, but...
In the 70s, I don't know how many people were making pet friendly paint. We definitely had a lady in Wizard of Oz be burned, and a man who had metallic paint that was bad for his skin. I don't know. Well, I'm saying if we're not caring about humans, I don't think they're caring about animals. Two, if I owned a white rabbit and you looked me in my eyes and said, don't worry, friendo, we'll wash this right out, and then it didn't wash out, I'd be a little mad at myself. I understand that. I don't think they should be kicking or screaming. I wasn't there. I don't know. But hey, man, like, hey, don't tell me this can wash out and then it doesn't wash out.
Man, if I don't know, the unfortunate happened to that rabbit, I'm pretty sure I would have been like, give me a lot of residuals. Killed my rabbit. Yikes.
So, Mary, would you recommend watching Monty Python?
Not really. I mean, unless I know the person is, like, I guess has your sense of humor, then yeah. But no. Not for me. Yeah, as I explained to Samuel, which I know the movie was supposed to be ridiculous, but as I defined it in one sentence, this is a joke within a joke. Which, you know, the movie was funny regardless, but it's not my type of comedy.
Yes, I would definitely recommend this movie. This is a phenomenal movie. From tip to tail, it is jokes galore, and it's just a group of friends having fun playing. That's it. Like, as adults, we lose a sense of whimsy at points because the world is not whimsical and it does not leave space for whimsy in adults. So just to see this group of friends just playing make believe and having fun, it's pretty fun to see. So I would definitely recommend this movie.
I'm just a corporate slave, man.
I never said that. I just find it fun to be like, hey friends, we're just gonna go to a field today. We're just gonna go to the field and we're gonna talk and make jokes.
Field trip.
Oh, thank you all for listening. Next week we'll be reviewing a drama called The Innocent.
Boy, oh boy. Boy.
As you can hear, Mary has very, very strong feelings about it already. I think it's a phenomenal film. Even before we get to the episode, you can even stream it on things like Tubi because it's free to see anywhere. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about The Innocent and that movie. But yes, listen on all the platforms. Listen on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. Thank you for watching, and you have a good day.
Bye.